Excuse me. Excuse me. What's up, otakus? Um, how you guys doing? I need to lose weight. Oh man. But it's weekend, quiet weekend. Just didn't do much. Um, just spent time, playing with a kid and kind of just watching sports here and there. Yeah, pretty quiet. So gonna just wrap up a quiet weekend with some great along time and kind of talk about stuff, I guess. So we do have a comic book coming. I bought a book off of Macari, and it's a book I've been kind of like, I've sent offers, he sent offers, and we just kind of missed the timing. There was a time when I was like wanting the book, and then I didn't want to buy the book because I had plans to go to Canada and make purchases. So I initially like sent an offer. He didn't accept it, so kind of forgot about the book. And then he sent a bunch of offers, and of course at that time I was not looking to pick it up until after I got back from Canada. And now that the Canada show was over, I sent over an offer which he did not accept or do anything on. So I just thought, he's not going to sell it to me. And then like last week, he was like, he said he was like out of town, or like he didn't see my message, and if I sent the previous offer that he would accept. So sent the same offer back, and he accepted, and now that book is on its way. So we will unbox it when it gets here. It should be here. They're saying by Friday, which seems a little long. I mean, the thing is like, this seller, he has just been sitting on it for, I purchased it like 3-4 days ago. He created a shipping label, but he's just been sitting on it. And I was just like, well, he's probably going to send it Monday or whatever. But I just sent him a quick message today to kind of confirm. And he's like, yeah, I have it ready to go. I'm going to ship it out tomorrow. So assuming it goes out tomorrow, they're saying I'll get it by Friday. So perfect timing. We'll unbox it along with this coming week's Great Along. And we'll go from there. Quick Shohei Ohtani update. He is at 54 home runs now in the season. Right? No, sorry, 53 home runs on the season and 54 steals on the season. So he's at 53, 54 home runs, steals, which is pretty significant. I mean, he's just basically like, he's in uncharted territory, and he's just, just building upon his already record-breaking season. So it's just been fun to watch. And my fantasy team looks like it's going to win this week. Sorry, I should put it in the context. My fantasy baseball team lost. And the guy to hand me the big L was none other than Fanboy Prime. So Fanboy, congrats. I hope you win it all this year. And you got a great team. I mean, he killed me with Mookie Betts and Shohei Ohtani, who have been like super hot. they just went off this week. So I mean, I wasn't even close. I think, what was it, 7-3 he won? He won by a score of 7-3. And again, Fanboy had both Otani and Mookie Betts. So it was just like, Mookie Betts and him homered back to back today. The first home run was a tie to tie the game, and then the second home run was to walk off. And so, in dramatic fashion, those two superstars delivered. The Mariners are technically still in it, but again, they're going to go up against the Astros this coming week, and that's a very important series. And we need to sweep the Astros that series. And I don't think we're going to win the series. If we do, that's great. If we sweep, great. If we win the series, great. But I don't think we're going to do either of those things. So I'm actually not. I'm not that excited about it, because I just don't see us doing it. We just we have to bring up sort of a playoff level intensity to these last weeks of games. And I mean, we've been playing well. I can't say we've been playing poorly, but we've been playing well ever since we got rid of Scott Service. And that should have happened way sooner. But it is what it is, and we got rid of him, I think, with about a month and a half left to go in the season. And again, we've been playing well. But the real question comes down to, so what? We make the playoffs. Let's say we win the wild card, or we win the AL West division, which would be really great. If we won the division, that'd be something. But at this point, we're probably more likely to get the wild card berth. And again, if we want to win the division, we got to pretty much win every game and sweep Houston, and they got to help us out by losing a couple games. Which is not to say it's not possible, but all those things have to happen, right? But even if that were to happen, I'm not that excited about it. Like, I'm not excited about the prospect we make the playoffs. We barely sneak into the playoffs. I mean, look at the teams we'd be going up against. We'd be going up against the Yankees, who just made us look stupid last week. We'd have to get through Houston. And again, depending on how this ending series goes, if we sweep them, then that gives me some hope. But like I said, that's not going to happen. So, I mean, we'd have to get through two really strong teams to get to face either the Dodgers or, in all likelihood, the Dodgers, right? And I just don't see us competing against any of those teams. But Julio's been playing better, barely. He actually had a decent line. He had 3 home runs for me this week. I mean, a lot of things have to happen, but that offense, it's not a good offense. And they just don't have a good sense of team identity. They've got to be winning consistently with solid pitching, solid offense. I'm not talking about great. I'm not talking about you don't have to just keep teams under 3 runs or around 3 runs and put up five or more runs. Just do that consistently. And you'll give the fan base some hope. And they've just been all over the place. I mean, they've been winning. They do win. They're barely winning. They have a couple where they actually like maybe blow out teams here and there. And then they get blown out. So it's just been inconsistent across the board. It just, and that kind of inconsistency, come playoff time, it's too late. Yeah, you need to have your team identity by like the midpoint, like know where your team's going, and then just build upon that momentum. And we just haven't had it. So anyway, enough about baseball, but I am looking forward to the baseball postseason, more so for Shohei than I am for the Mariners. But if the Mariners make it, of course, we will root for the home team. But not gonna we're not gonna put any expectations. We don't want to be disappointed, essentially. All right, so we're gonna grade through 10 books today, and it should be a fun time. I've got my spreadsheet here. Type in the grades as we go along. And as you know, I've been going through my little short box of Jim Lee like books. Sort of I want to like, these are more like the key covers, key Jim Lee artwork in the collection. Yeah, I don't know how else to say this, but other than just like, these are the cool books by Jim Lee, like kind of cover art type books. And yeah, we got a lot of them to go through, but I graded 5 of them last time. I think we're going to grade 10 today, and we'll see where the cadence will land. I think 5 is too short, 10 might be too long. We'll see, but we'll just get to grading and we'll let you decide. Okay, that's a pretty good angle right there. I can kind of show you what's going on with this book. This book is it's in high grade. There is like a slight bend through the book. Put it at an angle here so you can see. I don't know if you can make out the there it is. You see it? You see that line right there? Doesn't break color, so it's definitely, press it out, it'd look clean. No real creasing in the book. Spine is actually pretty decent. Got a couple spine ticks there, couple bends. For the most part, yeah, it's a lot of kind of sort of pressable defects here and there. And you kind of see them along the spine here in the light. The corners are sharp. Corners are very sharp. I put this at a solid 8.5. We got some issues here. It looks like a little corner crunch. Right there, you see that crunch there on the corner. Get out of the light there. There it is. Little corner crunch. Again, just pressable defects there. There's some defects there, but nothing major. Yeah. Got a spine tick there. Not really noticeable. Oh, actually it is. Got some deep spine ticks right there. Yeah, I think I'll go 8.0 on this one. There's just a lot of little issues. And that spine right there on the back, actually, it looks pretty That does not look good. This one here, it's a deep ding right there. Goes all the way up to here, breaks color. That one's pretty deep as well. That corner is looking not so good. That's a blended corner. So yeah, I mean this, I think 8.0 is kind of where I put this, land this. It, you know, I think even with the press, it would just be like 8.5 at best. But as is 8.0. Yeah, maybe like a 7.5 to 8.0. We'll say 8.0 needs a press. Yeah. Where are we going here? Punisher War Journal. This is the final issue that Jim Lee does on his run. Of course, he does a cover here. Does a cover. It comes back for Punisher. Actually, this is just the Punisher. Sorry. So yeah, this is his Jim Lee's official like Sayonara issue, and it's I consider it to be a Jim Lee key. The Sayonara issue. Got it at newsstand, and we're calling this an 8.0. 8.0. Paid 40 cents for this book. Yeah, for the newsstand. That corner is actually kind of roughed up. Yeah, I think the 8.0 still, I mean, it looks great. Just got to press it. I think if you were to press this out and get a nice, all the little defects out of it, including that corner there, this would be like an 8.5. Potentially 9s, 9.0 maybe, 8.5 probably. All right, so that's that. We're going to go to this book now. This one's actually very high grade. Show off the spine first. Nothing in the way of spine ticks or anything like that. Corners are sharp. No creasing or anything. Really nice looking book. I mean, this definitely a 9.4. Back spine is also very clean. One of the best like back covers, I think, because you got this awesome Jim Lee wanted poster of the Punisher there. How awesome is that? That's some Jim Lee goodness right there. Yeah, I mean this is 9.8 worthy. It's 9.8 worthy. I mean, it's got a couple really, really like just like negligible spine tweaks. Hey, what's up, Miss So? Hey, what's up? What's up, my brother? All right, we've got Punisher number 57, and we've got it's going to be, what do I want to put this at? We're going to put it at 9.8. I'm very wary to give things a 9.8. Unless they look absolutely just like kind of flawless. This one does have some, I don't know, it's like it's borderline 9.8. Yeah, let's just give it a 9.8. It's my grading. I'm just gonna do what I want. It is I think it is 9.8 worthy, is kind of my point. How you guys doing this evening? Hope you guys are doing well. All right, so we're just gonna give that 9.8 and move on here. This one is also very, very high grade. You can see the spine here looks really nice. Not much going wrong there. Oh, wait, there's some stress lines here. They don't break color, but you can see it right there, some stress lines. So I think that'd take us down to like a 9.0. And then, yeah, the stress lines kind of go. So, those can be pressed out, but as is, I'd say 9.0. And again, a very clean spine. Surprised this one's so very clean. Sharp corners, no creasing or anything. So yeah, I'll go 9.0 on this one, but with a press, potentially like a flawless book. Punisher Armory, number 1. We'll go 9.0. How you doing, my brother? Haven't talked to you in a while. Jeff, how you doing, man? Hope all is well. Ugh. I know you're working hard, buddy. All right, so what are we putting on this? We're gonna give that a 9.0. Keep it a 9.0. All right, this one is this one looks really clean. I'm not seeing much. Got maybe a couple spine ticks on the spine there. Corner's a little blunted on that one, but I think you could chalk that up to like manufacturing. They oftentimes come out of the like stapler or something with those little chopped corners. So that doesn't look like it, like a person caused that. This one, the back looks a lot better. Yeah, this copy's looking much, much better than the previous one. Got a couple spine ticks here. Don't break color. I'd give this one a 9.4. Near mint copy on this one. Punisher Armory, number 2. Yeah, I know, man. I hope you're doing well, man. I'm gonna kind of take a break from comic book buying and stuff like that. I think I'm at a point where I'm just gonna like enjoy what I have. Next summer I might hit up a show or 2 here, but nothing. I'm slowing down. I feel like my collection's kind of where I want it, and yeah, don't feel like I need to pick up a lot of stuff. We'll see. All right, but the grade on this 9.4, and again, this is just one of the best, like just Punisher art covers you're gonna see, because that's just like a sick. Like, look at how sick he is. I should say sickly. Is that a term you'd use on something? How sickly he's armed up right there. He's like he's got enough arms or ammo there to like take out a city or something. I mean, that just looks like that looks like it's a box of ammo. I just don't even know how to, like, how many bullets fit in that thing. It's like one of those like trapper keeper things of like bullets, I guess. Got to go to war, basically. All right. Yeah, this one's a second print of Jim Lee's first work on X-Men. So this one is, I think, actually, in terms of value, it's higher value than the first print. It's one of those instances where I think people like this second print, which is, I think, it's a lower print count, and it's in gold. I don't, I don't care either way. First print, second print. I think it's just both are worth having. But yeah, you got a nice little Jim Lee cover here. Early X-Men. Jim Lee. Jim Lee's first work. I shouldn't say early. This is his first work. Early Jim Lee. I don't think it's one of his better covers, but of course they get better as he works. And this is it's a Lee cover, but it's also Dan Green. It's got Dan Green vibes all over it. So yeah. Let's see. Let's grade the book. It looks near mint. There's not much in terms of spine wear. You got a little bit of a, what do you call these things? The spine roll, or not spine roll. What is it? Where it's kind of miscut along the fold. Yeah, this looks, but it's a really good copy. Again, we got a couple like bends in the book, a little bit of a spine, like a spine kind of roll line down there, very subtle. I should say like a stacking. What do you call these things? A stacking. Stacking line, I guess, something like that. Corners are sharp. This is just a nice looking book. I want to say this is like a 9.6, 9.4, 9.6. So, which is surprising. I always looked at that book and I thought, probably has never considered that particular book like near mint. I thought it was always a VF plus or something, but closer examination, it's actually higher grade. So kind of excited about that. Let's see here, 248. We got to get the second print in there. We don't have it in there. Let me just create a new line item here. Okay, this is the second print, and then we'll put it at a 9.6. Yeah, just a really nice looking book. All right, this next one, oh man. This is like the second appearance of Sexy Psylocke. Key issue here on the interior pages of this. And we've got a really, really clean copy here. Yeah, I'll just take a look at that black spine there. Just absolutely gorgeous looking. Now, there are some bends in the book, so, but nothing color breaking, so that definitely needs a press. But the corners are sharp. Okay, got sharp corners. Just beautiful, like gloss and pop. This particular cover can look very dull on certain copies, just because of I think depending on how it's been handled, or like not all copies look like they pop in terms of the color and but this one is super sharp. Wish I could maybe I should do it like, not like that, but like just show it off like this. Like you can probably see it better, and just kind of get in close, right? Would that be better? I just feel like at the angle, like you just not getting good. Now it's not even coming into focus here. I really hate this camera. All right. So yeah, I mean, like there's the top. See how sharp it looks, right? Again, nothing, no flaws on the cover. This is another, I think, 9.8 worthy book. It's just flawless. No spine ticks. Just everything looks really good. So I'm just gonna put it at an angle too, so you can see. Yeah, it definitely needs a press, because there's some, like, you can see the little spine. What stacking spine stacking line or whatever. So it needs a press, but with just one clean press, I think this would grade high. I think this would come back a 9.8. So yeah, I'm gonna give that one a 9.8. X-Men 257. Our direct. We have a newsstand in this one, but it's not that clean. This one is really super clean. Put it at 9.8. All right. I'm going on to the next book here. We got X-Men 258. This is, I want to say this is really one of Jim's first early dynamic Wolverine covers. We had a really dynamic Wolverine cover in the Punisher War Journal. Punisher War Journal number 6. The famous one where he's like snarling and has Punisher's suit through his claws. That is one of the iconic covers. Early Jim Lee, Scott Williams goodness on a cover. But this one also, I think, in my opinion, is like probably the second dynamic cover by Jim Lee on Wolverine. Wolverine's first cover art is actually a Wolverine cover art, but that one doesn't look that great. But this one just this one just screams, okay, here I am. This is Jim Lee goodness by me. You just got Wolverine fighting the Mandarin here. And we got a newsstand copy here. So this one does have some issues. Let me kind of get in close here. You can see there's a couple spine ticks. Okay. 1, 2. Little corner. Little corner looks okay. You can also see there's just some again, the line thing we have here going again in a lot of these books. So it needs a press, nothing color breaking, no creases other than that. You've got a couple edge issues again. We got some issues here. All right. On the bottom, first of all, we got a corner crease It does not break color though. You can see the crease though. Let me get in the light. You see it right there. Maybe you can, there it is. You can see the crease. And it kind of breaks color a little bit on the edges there. I think that could press out and be almost unnoticeable. So this definitely needs a press, but we got another issue right there. You see that? That right there? That could be, it's not a tear, but it's like it looks like it got crinkled or something. Something, it's not coming into focus here. There we go. It's coming into focus now. See, it is a little tear. It's a little something. I don't think it's a tear. It's just like the book got caught on something, or something like that. That's pretty significant. So that's a big ding, plus that crease. And yeah, I'm gonna, again, assuming we press that crease out. So this definitely needs a press. And I think even this little crinkle thing here, that can be pressed out, I think, but you'd still be left with a little bit of a color break there. But assuming that actually is like a tear or something, we're going to grade the book as is, not with like a press, right? So I think with a press, this could get up to like a 9.0. Yeah, because I mean, look at the spine here. Just there's not. It does present really well as a newsstand copy, right? The back I think is a lot better than the front. Got a little corner issue there. No, it's not really a corner issue. Got a corner issue here. A little bit of a, I want to say it's like a, it's like it's about to flake off. The corner is about to flake off there. So it's a little bit of like a tear. And you got indented and it got folded back out. And now there's a little line there ready to fleck off. If that flecks off, that's not good. So with the corner issue, it looks like, like got like bent at some point. I hate when that happens to a book right there. Just it's got a corner issue. So yeah, got a crease that doesn't break color. Got a little bit of a corner, like a smushed corner there on the back, breaks color, and then you got this little, I don't know what to call it, got caught on something and it kind of bent. And then I think it might have been, maybe it was like a tear, of a little micro tear, and then it kind of got folded back out. But either way, all these little medium flaws, I'm going to put this book at a 7.5. This one looks great, but when you zoom in on these little flaws, you gotta give it, you gotta knock it down. So 7.5. This one here is really unsightly. It's almost like a tear. So I think though, with a really nice press, again, press that out. You know, that looks great as is. And assuming you can press out that little defect there, and it's not actually a tear. Assuming it's not actually a tear, and you can smooth that out and get that looking great. This could be easily be a 9.4 if all those little things are get the kinks out of that. But as is, it's like a 7.5. I'd say if you got it pressed out and looking its best, you can get it to like a 9.2. I don't want to say 9.4. You can get to 9.0, 9.2 potentially. But as is, we're going to give it a 7.5 just because that does not look good right there. That little bump thing there. Maybe I'm being a little harsh with the 7.5, but let me know what you think. Yeah, 7.5 sounds. We'll go 8.0. I think. No, we'll go 7.5. That corner is, again, this corner crease is also part of that equation. Like that would put it at an 8.5. That will go 8.0. We'll go 8.0 on this one. Yeah, I think 8.0 is fair. It's not a horrible looking book. It's just not the best looking book. We'll go 8.0. No, we'll go 7.5. Yeah, we'll go 7. It just depends on how you look at that little thing by the name, you know, like how much you're going to knock that one in the light. Let's get up close in the light view here. So it's not a tear. It's just one of those things. Like I kind of got like folded and then kind of smoothed out again. That crease, kind of same thing. It kind of got crease and then smoothed out again. So given those little flaws, we'll go 7.5. Again, with the press, I think we have a real good chance to get this up, way up, like close to near mint. But you got to give it the TLC it needs to get it there. So as is, we'll say, yeah, we'll go 8.0. 8.0. Yeah, 8.0. Because what we're trying to, I'm going to also put it in asterisks because it needs a press. What we're trying to, I think, convey is with the asterisks at an 8.0, we could get it higher. It's it's potentially like near mint. It's potentially near mint. We can get it to near mint. But yeah, it's around 7.5, 8.0. I'll just give it the benefit of a doubt because it needs a press for sure. All right, this one is 8.5, just off the first impression. We got just a series of spine ticks here. That's about all, though. A couple spine breaking ticks right along there. Sorry, color breaking spine ticks right along there. Corners are sharp. Let me just examine the edges here. Looks clean. Very clean looking book. I just the tone of this book, it's like a kind of a deep pink. Very nice tone on this cover here. Got this Dazzler stalker here. We got some spine issues on the back as well. So I think given all those little, like, accumulation of little spine issues, bright color. Yeah, it's like borderline 9085. I will. Yeah, there's just too many like spine issues. Yeah, we'll go 85 on that one. Go 85 on this one. X-Men 260. Yeah, the previous cover is actually way better looking than this one in terms of the spine and everything. Just this one. Everything else looks good on this thing. Like there's just no issues outside of this, just the spine area. Really clean copy. So 8.5, yeah, I feel good about that grade. Yeah, just a great Jim Lee cover here. Classic on this run. All right, this is another classic. This is the first cover appearance of Sexy Psylocke. And this is our newsstand copy. Now, I will let you know right off the bat that someone wrote $1.70 on this cover. I don't know why or who would do that. Okay. When do you want to hang out, man? Tonight? Let's hang out. Let's plan something where let's plan to do something together, man. I'd love to just talk about something like pop culture related or something related to our collections or something happening in the market, whatever. There's a bunch of interesting stuff actually happening right now in the community, right? There's a lot of like drama in the community happening right now. We could talk about that, but yeah, love to do that, man. All right, I'll message you. I'll message you this week. All right, we'll find a time. We'll jump on. All right, so this one again, I don't know why someone would write $1.70. Like that makes no sense to me. What were they doing? Accounting or something? Were they doing a math problem and they had to they use their comic book for like a notebook? Is that what they were trying to price this book at? $1.70? Then why would you write it there on the book? That right there, just I'm apt to put that like at a mid-grade just because of that. But we'll just say it's like a major flaw, like a writing or whatever, major flaw. So let's just drop it to like a 9.0. Okay, that puts us right there at a 9.0. Spine is really clean. We do have another issue here. We got a corner ding right there. Right there. You see that? Breaks color. You can see it on the back as well. A little bit of a stress line there. Not as pronounced on the back. It does go through. It does kind of crunch through. I think ultimately you can press it out, but that color break there is not going to go anywhere. So that's that. We got another little corner issue here. A little color break. Not as bad as that. Oh, well, maybe it is as bad. It does break color there as well. So we've got like 3 pretty glaring flaws. Even though the spine is actually decent, the corners are what's killing us on this particular copy. We only got some spine ticks there. Nothing major, just a couple. So yeah, I'd put this at a 7.5. Yeah, we'll go 7.5 on all the little flaws there with the writing and everything. That writing just doesn't make sense to me. It just doesn't make sense. Like, who would do that? What kind of I just don't get it. But this is definitely my book. This, like, um, it's my book for sure. uh, they even cross out dollar. So look, you can see, like, it's not $1, it's $1.70. Like, it's like they made a point. No, it's not $1. They crossed out the dollar thing there, and then they wrote $1.70. So some idiot collector did that, or seller did that, without understanding how awesome this book is. This is just, come on, it's the first sexy Psylocke cover appearance there. And she's looking very sexy. Come on. Very Asian and sexy. She's looking very Asian. Very pissed off. And sexy. Okay. So that's that. Let's see, what were we putting that one? 7.5 on this one? 261. 261. I'm going to make this a 7.5. Newsstand is 7.5. Now, this is not my only copy of the book, but the other one's a direct. And I don't know how much a press would help this book out, because you just got color breaks here. Yeah. The edge, there's some edge issues as well. But I just feel like those little color breaking corner issues are, yeah, 7.5 is, I think, a good place to land on that one. All right, this is our last one of our grading session here. And this one is very similar to the copy we just saw. Got some edge issues here at the top. Kind of make them out there in the light there. See it? I don't know if you'll be able to see it. Let me turn it up there. You see that? In the light, you kind of like some rippling there. Just along the edge. And then the corners are not sharp. They're kind of just a little bit rounded, just on the borderline of rounding. Sharp to rounded. No color breaks of any significance. We've just got a couple issues along the spine here. You can see them, right? Some spine ticks. Again, I think a press would really just help and then clean up this book. Yeah, so just like a couple color breaking spine ticks there. As is, this would be an 8.5, as is, with all these little minor defects. We got some more. I think the back is a little bit more revealing here. A series of spine ticks. I think on the front cover, it's less noticeable, because it bleeds into this sort of like lighter area here. But back, you can kind of, there's no, it's not that, it's not that major. They're very, but there's a series of them. There's a series of them. So again, I'd put this, I'm going to go 8-0 on this one. 8-0. And I don't know if a press is necessarily going to help this one because you just got so much color break there. You might clean up that edge a little bit, but yeah, not sure how much we could improve that with a press. All right, so X-Men 264 newsstand is going to stand at an 8-0. 8-0 copy. All right, we got 2 more books. Now, we just went through a bunch of Jim Lee books here. We're going to continue in the next grade along to go through my Jim Lee short box. You know, it's just going to be more of this kind of goodness. We're kind of going from early to late, doing it sort of sequentially and through his different runs. So we have finished up Punisher War Journal and X-Men. Or not, I shouldn't say we have finished up. We finished up Punisher War Journal and Punisher, some of the earlier stuff. And we're just going to, we kind of got into X-Men here, Uncanny X-Men a little bit here. So the next, grade along, we'll stay along that track, along the Uncanny X-Men track. All right, so we're just going to put these off to the side for now, and then we're going to grade 2 sort of flex books, my slabs, the books that I deem slab worthy, my personal slab worthy copies. So these are sort of some of the better books in my collection. And yeah, I mean, these are 2 beauties I picked up this summer, and yeah, they're just amazing. All right, so we'll start with this one here. This is Justice League of America, issue 190. We got this awesome, incredible cover by Brian Bolland. Starro has controlling the minds of everyone on Earth, including our superheroes here. And this one is we got some issues here. You can tell this was pressed. It was pressed, and it looks great. But there are issues on the back here. Maybe this wasn't pressed. I'm not. No, I feel like this was pressed, and this had like a big issue on the back that couldn't get fully pressed out. I mean, it's very subtle. But you can see the line, the couple, like the stress lines there. I'm hoping it wasn't pressed because I think you could press that out. It doesn't break color. There's just some stress lines there. You see them right there. Again, nothing major, nothing, it doesn't break color. It's not all that noticeable. I don't think it's all that. And again, it's clean. Looks like someone cleaned it. The edges look a little kind of discolored, but all in all, it's light pages. 1981 Donruss. George Brett and Mike Schmidt. Those are 2 of the biggest stars from that period, man. 2 Hall of Famers there. All right, so we got that. And again, the front cover got sharp corners. Nothing. So I'm just going to put this at a near mint copy, man. I like that the spine is really clean. It's lined up really nicely. So yeah, I mean, just those little, just a couple like stress lines there, doesn't break color, barely visible, and then just a really clean front cover here. So yeah, I'd put this at a 9.4. And how amazing is this Brian Bolland cover, man? Oh, it's just a work of beauty. It's a work of beauty. This is just the iconic cover. Iconic cover here. The DC Bullet logo. It's Starro versus the Justice League of America, and all the world is slaves. Boom. Yeah, that is a dope ass book right there. All right, so we're gonna grade this thing now. I'm gonna put it at a 9.4. Justice League of America, 190? 9.4 copy. 190. What's going on here? I don't have this book in my. That can't be right. Huh. I don't have it logged in. That is not good. Well, we'll log it in now. Give me just 1 second here as I copy paste. 190. This is a direct copy. And then let's look up the stats here. Justice League of America 190. So we got Brian Bolland on the cover art. It's from May of 1981. Brian Bolland. Interior of this book, we got Rich Buckler. Jerry Conway's the writer. Smith is the inker. And this is a 9.4 copy. Put it at high grade. What did I pay? I think I paid like 25 for this and the 189. I want to say it. Let's put 189 in here too, because that is another book that we got that we haven't put in yet. Now I don't have 189 ready to grade, but I'm just writing it here in my. I think 189 was actually a newsstand copy, if I'm not mistaken. But for now, we'll leave that blank. Just leave it blank. This was from April, and I'm going to assume all the other stats are the same. The artist might be different. So Brian Bolland cover. No, Frank McLaughlin is the inker on 189. Just make a note of that. There we go. And we don't have a grade on 189. But yeah, I think I picked up both copies for like $25, maybe 35 for both. I want to say 25 or 35, one of those, but you got this one and 189. And this one is just, again, just a beauty. Beauty. Give you another look. Just just a creepy, It's a creepy cover, first off. But it's also like Starro, right? It's like one of the most iconic I don't. You wouldn't even call him a villain. Villain implies something. I don't know. To me, it implies something like he's just a villain is like a choice to be bad. This thing is just like just out to do what it was, genetically engineered to do. He's genetically engineered to like control uh, mind control and like produce all these things to take over planets and stuff. It's that's when you're biologically engineered for that purpose. Can you really call it like evil? Is it really evil? It's a form of uh, what's the word I'm looking for? It's a form of it's a biological evolutionary term. It's where if you dominate a certain species, critical, what is it? Critical something? It'll come to me. But anyway, he's obviously, I don't say it. It is obviously, evolutionarily superior to other life forms, right? Which gives it its advantage. So in the big picture, it's just one of those like food chain things, right? It's not evil. It's just get more gifted than. What's up, family? Congrats, man, on beating me this week in fantasy. Otani and Betts. I think those two, you just could have started those two guys and you would have out hit me with just those two guys. Hope you're having a good week, man. All right, so the last book. And this book, what's crazy about this book is it could improve with the press, to be honest. I don't think this book has been pressed yet, and it just looks so fabulous. We've got one of the most iconic covers in comic books, in my opinion. And it's World's Finest 169. This was like one of my favorite pickups from the summer. And it's because it's really a beautiful looking book, first off, in terms of condition. We've had several opportunities to buy this online and get this book for, cheap. But I actually wanted this, this book to be in decent condition when we picked it up. And boy, man, did we succeed with this one. So again, this book has not been pressed. There's, if you look in the corner here, there's some stress lines here. You can see that right there. Okay. And it breaks color, but again, if we were to press that out, it would almost look flawless, I would say, right? It doesn't break color into the color regions all that well. It's more just stress. So again, with the press, man, this would just look fabulous. And really the again, that this area here with the press could improve. The back looks fantastic. We've got a little bit of a like a stamp rub, ink rub there on the back. That's nothing major. I just wish it had the year. We have the August 3rd, but we don't have the year. I think with a date stamp like that, the year would really help improve add a little bit more personality to the book. And again, we've got an issue here, which would, again, with the press would resolve that. Got some stress. You can see it right there. Right there, you see those lines there? That would come out with a nice press. So yeah, I mean, this definitely is a work in progress, or I should say a project for our pressing when we get into the stage where we're going to start pressing books. But yeah, okay, so it's got all these little issues. And we do have a corner crease here that breaks color. But again, with the press, it would still break color, but it would improve the press as well. This one is rather, I mean, it's there, and there's nothing you can do about it. It breaks color, but that is like really the glaring flaw in all this. Everything else, I think, with a press, you could get it looking absolutely flawless on both the back and the front for the most part. I mean, the back looks really clean as is. Don't think you have to do much. Again, if you just smooth that out here, you saw through the light, that area here, you could smooth that out. It'd look flawless. So really this corner is what's going to ding us at the end of the day. So again, as is, without the press or anything, I'm going to put this at a 7.5. Put it at a 7.5. And I really think, there's another little issue there that breaks color. It's like a little bit of a like stress line there, kind of like a finger bend or something, but that as well. But again, with a nice press, you just got some color breaks here and there. Yeah, I'm fine with putting this at a 7.5, and with the press, possibly higher. Well, what I'm going to do? I'm going to put this at a 7.0. And with the press, I think it has potential to get to a 7.5. We'll leave it at that. So 7.0 with potential to be a 7.5. I don't think with that corner crease, it's not blaring, but there is that line, the line there. Just it's not that deep of a crease, but it's in this dark brown area, and it just breaks color there, and it's just, you can't help but see it, and you can't unsee it once you see it. So, and then we got the top issue there. So yeah, we'll go 7.0 with the press. We'll go potentially 7.5. So yeah, but that's still great for this era of a book. 7.0, I will take it. Take a 7.0 all day on a Kurt Swan iconic cover. World's Finest 169. Again, one of my favorite books in my collection. Picked this one up for 26 bucks. Picked that for 26 bucks. Put it at a 7.0. High grade. That's just great. And we have to italicize it. It tells us we need to press it. So there you go. All right, so that's this edition of Grade Along, and got a lot of books to still grade and get through, but kind of showing off some of the real beauties, the core collection. I just figured we were kind of going through my bottom drawers and grading those first to eventually get to these bigger ones, but I decided, why do it, and why not start with the better books, start off with the best books and work our way down. I think that's better. This way, if something, tragic were to happen to me, knock on wood or whatever, at least, a lot of these books would have grades on them by myself. I gotta I gotta communicate that I have this list to somebody first off, and there's just no one to, my wife, she's not gonna care. It really comes down to like my son being the protector of my collection should something ill-timed and ill ill happen to me, and I just want there to be like a plan, right? Like who gets the collection, who, like how to look up the value of this collection, like what is worth what, and I kind of have to let someone know, hey, this is what this is worth, like to me, what you should be selling it for. And like I kind of have the bare bones of that in this spreadsheet, which we are trying to complete. But at the same time, if I were to just knock off tomorrow, no one would know that this, well, it's in my browser, it's in my bookmarks, but my wife would just look at this and be like, what is this? And then my son's not gonna make he's not gonna make anything of it until maybe he's old enough to understand. But yeah, I guess it'll be the community that will ultimately will do, fanboy. I will do. No, I'll make a note of it to like bequeath you my collection. Again, this is like Leo's collection at some point, and I'm hoping he cares enough about this hobby. Like I'm hoping he will, and that's on me. Like I can steer him toward, I already know he likes Superman. But Superman is not like I'm pushing Superman on. I'm like trying to make him like really get into Superman, but he likes all these other things that are like Japanese cultural, like Kamen Rider. He likes Ultraman. He likes Godzilla, the kaiju stuff. He likes this thing called Boom Boom Ja now, and like there's all these like masks type, real action like content that he likes, which is cool. I like that. I kind of like that stuff too. I'm not that into it. He also likes the old school like giant robot stuff from Japanese cartoons, like Majinga. He likes Grandizer, things like that. And but yeah, I mean, like Spider-Man, Superman, Batman, these, the comic book stuff, he's been exposed to it. He's just not that into it. So I think it's going to take some time. And he does like Transformers. And what's funny? He loves Transformers. My son loves Transformers, and he knows my comic book wall and all that. And then this summer he got back from Japan, and he's older now, so it's really cool. Like he he can like make observations, and like we can have a conversation now. He's not like asking what stuff is. He can kind of figure out stuff for himself now. It's a real, like, it was just surprising, like that's um how fast he's just been growing up. But he came back from so I picked up Transformers 1 um this summer, and I had it up there. And then he comes back and he walks into my room. He's like, "Oh, you got you got Transformers. When'd you get that?" He asked me, like, "When did you get that comic book?" And I told him, "Hey, good observation. I got it this summer." And he's like, "Cool." And I told him, that's the first appearance of Transformers in comic books. That's a valuable book. And he's just like looked at it and like, okay, it's like kind of like, whatever, Dad. But it was cool that he noticed that book and asked me, "Did you pick that up this summer?" Yes, good observation. So yeah, again, work in progress. He's gonna, I think, we go to a couple Comic Cons together, which my wife has been very resistant to, because he's still young, and you know Comic Cons can kind of be like sensory overload, I think, because there's just a lot of people there, and I don't know if it's the best thing for little kids to go to. It's really more oriented toward adults, right? um but when he gets a little older, I want to say, like, maybe even next year or the year after, I do want to take him to a Comic Con and show him, like, this is what you do at a Comic Con. You don't do I mean, you can do cosplay. Maybe he'll get into that or something. But like, I want to show him, like, this is what you really do at a Comic Con. You go, you meet your favorite artists, you get some comic books and you get them signed. You go and dig in bins and you look for like bargains, or you look for the key books you want, and you focus on that and you come back with that. And there's a lot of, I think, there's just a lot of, fun in that experience. Just doing that thing, where you go, some money to get some books, meet some artists, and just walk around and see all the geeks and nerds. And, I just really hope he kind of gets into that and buys into that on some level. He doesn't have to be at it on my level, but he gets it on some level. So then we have something in common that we can, like, kind of do and share. I'd love to just bequeath him a portion of my collection and have him, come to me and say, "Hey, Dad, I want these books," or "Let's go hunting for comic books." And he has his own stuff he wants to get, like, could be different from me. He might get into, like, I don't know, like, horror books, or he might want to get into Godzilla, like Fanboy's Kid, like, it just, all these different things you can get into. And you don't necessarily have to it doesn't have to be the same as what I like. He can get into whatever he likes, and that might be like video game books, or who knows. I mean, yeah, it could be anything. I'm sure there's like an Ultraman comic book somewhere, right? I know some of the giant robot books. Like, what was it? The samurai, what was it? What was the big robot things called in comic books? I think it's called Shogun. Oh, Shogun Warriors, right? They had the big robots, Japanese robots, in a comic book. It's called Shogun Warriors. You might get into Shogun Warriors. That's a really niche cool thing to get into. Actually, I you know, I should actually be into that because I watched all those cool Japanese robot shows when I was growing up. But he might get into that. I don't know. But it'd be cool to like, hey, I'm collecting my Superman stuff. What'd you find? And I got my Green Lantern or whatever he's into. Um, Hopefully it'll be Superman. That's just my personal hope. But um, again, he's gonna whether he gets into comic books at all is the thing I'm worried about. Um, my hope is that he, at some level, dabble in the hobby a little bit just to get his feet wet, and then see where it goes from there. Yeah. Well, is he into comic books? I felt like he was into comic books for a little while, right? Or maybe he's not. He's grown out of it now. He's still into the cool stuff, right? Um, I know it seemed like he was into comic books for a little bit, and then maybe now he's moved on to other things. Maybe looks like he's into video games and stuff now, which I know Leo's gonna get into too. We're just trying to kind of hold off on the video games for as long as we can. But at some point, it's gonna be like he's gonna get a Nintendo Switch, and like I'm gonna have to negotiate game time and all that. We're just trying to avoid that for as long as we can. But I definitely want him to play video games though, because I think it's just too much. It's just too much fun to deny him. But it's and that's the thing, like once you get into video games, it's like, will you get into anything else? It's like you're not gonna want to read comic books or anything like that at that point. But anyway, it's gonna be fun to see what kind of hobbies he develops. Because right now he doesn't really have a hobby outside of like buying whatever toys he wants to get. Um, that's not really a hobby, we just get him stuff. Like he wants to get a drone for Christmas. He's like, Dad, I want a drone for Christmas. And I was like, all right, we'll get you a drone. Um, and I obviously don't want to get him a nice drone because he's gonna probably break it. But I'm sure there's a lot of like toy drones out there that you could get, battery operated stuff. That should be cool. Yeah, it's hard to get kids to be into the same things you're into. Um, but all you can do is just like give them a little guidance in it. If he has questions, I know he's too young to really. He just knows I like comic books, and he knows what comic books are because he has his like he's read manga. We've read Captain Underpants. What's the other one? It's Dogman. Yeah, he's read Dog. He loves Dogman. He loves those Daft Pilkey books, Dogman and Captain Underpants. And they're big into comics and stuff, like drawing comics and sort of educating you on the process of comics, how to like draw characters and stuff. He kind of got into that. He's still into that for the most part because we just recently reread Captain Underpants, and he's like, "Oh yeah, I forgot that happened," and so he just wanted to like a refresher on Captain Underpants. Um, so yeah, I mean, he does like comics. He reads a good deal of like Japanese comics and Captain Underpants. and we've read the the free comic book stuff you get. He has a little Transformer, uh, the one that just came out on Free Comic Book Day. He has that one. He has the Spidey and Friends. We have a couple issues of those Spidey and Friends, and he's done the activities in those. Nothing Superman. I just wish they'd put out more Superman like kid stuff. We watched Superman the animated series. I mean, not the serials, but just what we could piece together on YouTube. I showed him that, and he likes Superman. But it's not like when I was a kid, when I was just like obsessed with Superman. Like that was my guy, right? Like it's like I just wanted Superman toys. I wanted everything. Like I wanted all the cards and everything like Superman related stuff. I had the little Supermobile, the little diecast thing as well. But he's different. He's got so many little options to grab his attention. So he's just really into like Hot Wheels cars and like robots and yeah, Transform. I wish I could get him Transformers, but Transformers are expensive. Like it's just like cheap plastic toys, but they're selling for like 30-40 bucks for like the figures and stuff. I'm just like, no, you're not getting. It's like you're paying more for less quality. Like in the 80s, when you got Transformers, that was just like a well-made toy. You know, it was like it wouldn't break on you all that easily. It was just like solid, like quality toy making, and it wasn't very expensive back in the day, right? You can get like Optimus Prime probably for like what was it, like 50 bucks, maybe 40 bucks, something around there. Probably less than that. You could probably get Optimus Prime for 30 bucks back in the day. GI Joes were what, like 4 bucks, something like that, $4, $3 or $4. So I mean, you could get toys super cheap back in the day. Now, if you were to get that kind of Optimus Prime figure now, it'd just be like hundreds of dollars. So it's unfortunate. I wish they'd make Transformers just a little bit more affordable, a little bit better in quality. Bring back like the old toys, like the old school versions, for a new generation. You gotta you don't want to get the used ones. The used ones are super expensive. First generation Transformers, man, that's just like that's stuff I would want to buy and just put on the shelf and not play with, just own. But it is what it is. All right, so Ralph House. Both my kids got into anime once they got old enough. They still like the Marvel movies, though. I got my son first Deadpool comic and my daughter first Stranger Things comic because well, that's awesome. Yeah. I guess that's how you do it. You kind of like hone in on what they like and get them the comic book, right? And then impart to them, this is a collectible. You want to take care of it because the condition is what's going to determine its value, and kind of teach them some basics about grading. There's high grade, mid grade, low grade. High grade is when it's got no flaws, talk about flaws. I think that's a good way to maybe get them into the collecting by giving them, buying them something that's of value, of something they like, something they'll like maybe read, but then put away and, maybe they'll want the subsequent issue. And then there you go. You've set them on a journey of like wanting to go to the comic book shop and get the next issue, the next. I think that's a good way to do it. Yeah, uh, that's how I will do it, rather than just kind of push my books onto him. Like, just give him an issue of something he likes. Hopefully and just let him read it. Don't. I think when you put all the grading, like the handling and all that when you factor that in, it maybe gets to be too much. It just takes the joy out of just owning and reading a comic book. So just kind of do it, I guess, how I got into it a little bit. Just get a comic book, read it, keep it in your room. And then at some point, because that's what I did, I had a bunch of comic books. I didn't care about the condition. They were just, like in my room. And then, I probably, it was like my junior, maybe like sophomore, junior, senior year of high school. I was like learning that about condition, about like price guides, about the how about the collectability of the books. And yeah, that's when you started taking better care of the books, and kind of got more knowledge of what certain books are worth, what certain books are. Yeah, I mean, you have the price guide telling you all what the books are worth, and which ones are a little bit more desirable than the ones that aren't. But yeah, I definitely like, when you go into the comic book shop and you see the wall books and you're like, oh, and you see the prices on the wall books and you're like, okay, so why are those valuable? And you kind of go look them up in the price guide and see what the key, uh, the key status of that book is, why it's worth a lot. Those things, and that's just a part of the hobby, right? It's just your progression in the hobby. You're not going to know all that stuff from the beginning, and I doubt I could impart all of that, in a productive way without lecturing or sapping all the joy out of the hobby. So I think, yeah, just let him get into it, find some ways to maybe, right? Yeah, it's like, I think comics are something you get into because it's your journey, not that someone showed you or guided you or did anything. Because my dad didn't teach me anything about comic books. I read like my first memory of a comic. Actually, my dad did buy me a comic book. It was he got a bunch of stuff from the PX, and he got me some like Spider-Man comic books, and they were so long ago. I want to say Spider-Man and like Captain America, Marvel comic books, which I read, and then they got tossed or torn or whatever. I didn't, but that didn't get me into comic books until I read Secret Wars, which my dad got me as well. Or actually, I got it. I got it when I went to the store. And then G.I. Joe, the same thing. I went to the store, like bought it out off the newsstand rack, the comic rack. And that's when I like had some stories. Like I could actually read and comprehend at that point. I must have been like, let's say 7. Yeah, somewhere around there, 6 or 7. No, maybe 7 or 8. And then I read, like G.I. Joe, yeah, G.I. Joe comics. And then And then we got into Batman, X-Men, and all that. So that was just like a progression. But initially, the comic books were just like you just read them, and the cover came off, and like you rolled it up, and like you didn't really pay attention to the collectability part of it. You were just reading what you could pick up, right? And then, yeah, I remember right around like sixth, seventh grade, starting to go to comic book shops and buying books from the comic book shop. And you could pick up the new issues, you could pick up back issues. And that's when I kind of got into like price guides and doing all that, and started taking better care of my books, and really like kind of got into collecting in high school. When like that was like the Jim Lee era, fully the Jim Lee era, like middle school to high school. We were reading Farland, Jim Lee, Mark Silvestri, all those like titles, X-Men, Spider-Man, Batman. Batman was big. I really got into Batman comics through like trade paperbacks, right? There was a bunch of trade paperbacks that you could get at the library and whatnot and just read. I didn't really collect Batman though, until, well, I guess I did. I kind of, but when I went to the comic book shop, because you only have X amount of dollars to spend, I was focused on picking up X-Men. That was the thing I read the most. And an occasional Batman. I did pick up The Killing Joke, and again got it messed with me. I did get and this was around the movie, right? The movie was really popular. I started picking up like Batman Year 2, Batman Year 1, Batman Year 2, Batman even Year 3, and all the Batman titles around that point, at that stage, which was pretty cool. Yeah. That's why I really like, I think, Jim Aparo, that era of Batman comics, because it was like, so it's a lot of what I got into and read. So yeah, right. Like you just see Secret Wars on the comic book rack, and you just wanted to get it. Like you didn't know what it was about, but there was just cool cover art, and you want to like, read it. Secret Wars was one like you just couldn't resist. Yeah, all those like superheroes coming out. Secret Wars 1, right? It was just such a great like cover, and it just looked like such a big event, right? You're just like, well, all the superheroes are in this book, and you open it up, and they're all there. They're just like Cap, Spider-Man, X-Men. They're all there. That's one. Like I think even if you're not into comic books, you just go and pick it up because you're a kid. And boy, did it deliver. It was just but I mean, I didn't read the whole thing. I read like bits and pieces here and there, but still enough to like get you into that. All right. Well, thanks for hanging out, guys. We're going to do more of this grade along stuff as we, it's for sure. I'm going to try to do it every Friday, and I'm going to try to also sneak one in on Sundays before we start the new week. So if you guys have time, hopefully you'll stop in again, and we'll do some more grade along and talking. But thanks for watching, guys. And the next one, we're probably gonna do an unboxing, but I think in the next one, as we get closer to October, we're gonna talk playoff baseball. We're gonna talk, just make some predictions maybe about who is gonna win the World Series or get to the World Series. My picks for, I guess, the two teams, and I think right now the what I should say, the fan favorites for us to see in the World Series would be an Los Angeles Dodgers versus New York Yankees matchup, just like the Brooklyn Dodgers versus Bronx Bombers showdowns we had in the 50s and I should say the 40s through 60s, right? Just all those great matchups, classic matchups. That would be great to see if you can get some of those matchups again. I think as a baseball fan, put aside, the fact that your team didn't get there. If the next best thing is to see like those two big markets showdown, East versus West, all those start like Judge versus Otani, right? Like that's kind of what I want to see. And so I guess I just gave you a preview of my World Series kind of predictions, but that's I think what we're as fans want to see. So anyway, we'll hang out again on Friday, and we'll see you in the next one. Peace out.